Welcome back. I'm Pete Lockett. We're going to be continuing our journey of beginner's Kanjira, and today we're going to look at a little bit of theory, which is vitally important in the construction of a majority of Kanjira compositions. Now, when I started to learn South Indian music, I learned the mridangam from Karakudi Krishnamurti, who's an amazing mridangam player who specialised in Bharatanatyam dance. So I was lucky enough to study that drum, and also Natwangam, which is the vocal percussion that you get with Bharatanatyam dance, and it's accompanied by little handbells that you play that are, it's pretty interesting because you get these intense rhythmic compositions that you're reciting. Now the mridangam player is playing those compositions, but you're also doing a completely different pattern with the hands, with the bells, and the dancer is dancing what you're playing with the bells. So on the one side of the coin, you know, you're speaking the rhythms the mridangam player's playing, and on the other side of the coin, you're reciting something completely different with the bells. So it's a very interesting thing. For example, one composition, the bells were playing 7-7-7-7 4, adding up to 32, and the rhythmic composition was completely different. It was in 4-4, and so kind of the tempo there, and the thing takatari taka takita takada takita takati takita takatum takita takanam takita takatakatana takita kita takata takita takati takita takatum takita takanam takita taka. So that was the first part of the composition. So you got 7-7-7-7 4 with the bells, and then this totally different thing with the voice. So it's a pretty tricky thing to master, and even more difficult to remember, because you're not only remembering the rhythmic composition, you're also remembering something completely different with the bell pattern that sits behind it. So anyway, when I began and I started to have my lessons with my South Indian teacher, Karakudi Krishnamurti, it was like learning lots of little different bits, and only at a certain point later on, when I did my Arangetram, which is kind of like the first sort of public performance, I say, under the tutorage of the guru, only then did all of the things that he'd been teaching me come to make sense. You know, when I was preparing that concert, they all got slotted together. It's like a jigsaw, all just being put in place, and then it all makes total sense. So you might feel like that with some of the rhythms and some of the lessons that we're doing here, is that they're abstracts, and you kind of think, well, how does that all add up together? So, you know, it kind of adds up together when you piece it together in the context that you're going to use it, in actual fact, in this instance, because a lot of the material I'm putting forward for you is really geared towards playing outside of the Indian idiom. But I did also say that I'm going to be doing traditional stuff and traditional perspectives, and we're going to be having some quite an extensive series of play-alongs that I'm going to be releasing later on in this series, and they'll be more traditional in sense. But one of the traditional things that we need to cover today is one of the main building blocks, and that's the syllables that we've discussed a few times before, tadiginatom. Now, this rhythmic phrase is like crucially important for all of South Indian rhythm, and one of the key things that is done with this rhythmic phrase is the way that it's extended into different parts, different rhythmic lengths, different rhythmic units. So one of the first things that happens to it, and all of the units that derive from it, is that density is added. So tati genatom is then, you know, made into tati da kitatom, and then da kitatom kitatom, da tati kitatakatom, and then kidadakidadakidadom. So it's getting denser and denser, more and more populated, but it's still the framework of tati-ge-na-tom. So that's one of the things that we're going to look at a little bit later on, is adding density to this phrase and the phrases that are derived from it. But the other thing is that's very important is how this simple phrase is then used to make units that are 6 beats, 7 beats, 8 beats, 9 beats long. And the way that is done is by adding gaps into the phrase. So you might remember the fingering that we had in a previous lesson for tati-ge-na-tom. Ta-ti-ge-na-tom. 3 1 3 3 tom. Ta-ti-ge-na-tom. 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 3 1 3 3 1 3 1 3 3. Ta-ti-ge-na-tom. So this is the 5-beat unit. Now, to convert this into a 6-beat unit, the syllables stay the same, but a gap is added in the phrase. So we have, instead of tati-ge-na-tom, 1 2 3 4 5, we have tati-ge-na-tom. So there's a gap after the second syllable. Tati-ge-na-tom. 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 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. And because we've got the syllables, we've already got the fingering for it. Tati-ge-na-tom. So it's the same. Tati-ge-na-tom. 3 1 3 3 tom. Now we'll just have 3 1 3 3 tom. Tati-ge-na-tom. Tati-ge-na-tom. Exactly the same fingering. So then for the 7, we have 2 gaps. Ta-ti-ge-na-tom. Ta-ti-ge-na-tom. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. And again, the fingering will be the same. 3 1 3 3 tom. 3 1 3 2 ta-ti-ge-na-tom. Ta-ti-ge-na-tom. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 5 6 7. Ta-ti-ge-na-tom. 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 Ta. So then we've got 7. We've had 5 6 7 8. Ta-ti-ge-da-tom. 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 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Ta-ti-ge-da-tom. Ta-ti-ge-da-tom. And the fingering's the same. Ta-ti-ge-da-tom. 3 1 3 3 3 1 3 3 3 1 3 3. Ta-ti-ge-da-tom. Ta-ti-ge-da-tom. Ta-ti-ge-da. And then 9. Ta-ti-ge-da-tom. Ta-ti-ge-da-tom. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Ta-ti-ge-da-tom. Ta-ti-ge-da. And the fingering's the same. Ta-ti-ge-da-tom. 3 1 3 3 3 1 3 3 3 1 3 3. Ta. So then from that point we can go up further. So you keep the second half the same, but then you add something before it. So in this instance, to go up to 10, we'll have taka-da-tom, tati-ge-da-tom, taka-da-tom, tati-ge-da-tom, taka-da-tom, tati-ge-da-tom. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So taka-da-tom, 3 1 3 tom. Very easy. Taka-da-tom, tati-ge-na-tom. Tati-ge-na-tom's the same. 3 1 3 3 tom. Taka-da-tom, tati-ge-na-tom. Taka-da-tom, tati-ge-na-tom. Taka-da-tom, tati-ge-na-tom. Taka-da-tom, tati-ge-na-tom. So from here, from 10, we easily get 11 by making the second part, tati-ge-na-tom, 6. So then we've got 5 plus 6. Taka-da-tom, tati-ge-da-tom, taka-da-tom, da dee, gin na tom. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Taka da tom, da dee, git da tom, taka da tom, da dee, git da tom, taka da tom, da dee, git da tom, taka da tom, da dee, git da tom. So immediately, without straining ourselves intellectually at all, are playing an 11-beat phrase. And I think one of the things about the syllables that's really important and useful is how it makes something very lyrical and easily memorable in terms of a rhythmic phrase. And I used to try out sometimes with some of my students of teaching them a rhythm without syllables and teaching it with, and when it was a complex rhythm, and they're always were quicker when there were syllables involved. So of course it's logical, we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to have taka da tom and then ta di gina tom. So then we're at 12. Taka da tom, da di gina tom, taka da tom, da di gina tom, taka da tom, da di gina tom. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Taka da tom, da di gina tom, taka da tom, da di gina tom. Fingering's the same. Taka da tom's the same. Da di gina tom. 3 1 3 3 tom. Taka da tom, da di gina tom, 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 da. So then up to 13. Taka da tom, ta di gina tom. Taka da tom plus 8. Taka da tom, ta di gina tom, taka da tom, ta di gina tom, taka da tom, ta di gina tom, taka da tom, ta di gina tom. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. 1 2 3 4 5 8 9 10 11 12 13. Taka da tom, ta di gina tom, taka da tom, ta di gina tom. And finally, for this chart, we're going to go up to 14. We're going to have taka da tom, 5 plus 9. Taka da tom, da di gi da tom, taka da tom, da di gi da tom, taka da tom, da di gi da tom, taka da tom, da di gi da tom. So one thing to note with these patterns is that the 5 through to the 10 are very common traditionally. The 11 onwards you don't hear so often, but they are good exercises nonetheless. And those type of phrases come up a lot in different compositions and in constructing larger rhythmic compositions called core voice. So let's just look at the whole chart. And we'll just, as an exercise, we'll go through each one 4 times. So to begin with, we'll just do the 5 up to the 9. 3, 4, and da-dee git da dum, 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 da-dee git da dum. Then we can try the same with the 10 through to the 14. 3, 4, and taka da dum, da-dee git da dum, 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 taka da dum, da-dee then you could put the whole thing together as one big exercise as well, if you wanted. So this is a good way to get to understand how we can get to 5 beat, 6 beat, 7 beat, 8 beat, 9 beat and onwards units in terms of compositional structure. Now, these phrases are more like coat hangers, if you would excuse the terrible comparison. But each of these phrases, it's a really spare skeletal phrase that can easily be populated with different material. So I'm just going to go through how these units, certainly from the 5 up to the 9, can be made denser by adding different notes in to build them up. Before we do that, I'm just going to qualify that with looking at a 3 and a 4 beat unit, because it's easier to start with the 3 and the 4 beat unit to clearly understand how they can be populated. So the 3 beat, obviously takita, that we've done before, and 4 beat takadimi. So let's start with the 3 beat unit. So we started with takita, 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 3 1 3 3 1 3. I'm going to change that. For now, I'm going to do 3 3 tom. So this is our starting point. Taka tom, taka tom, taka tom, taka tom. So the first way that's populated is that becomes da kita tom, da kita tom. So you've gone from taka tom, taka tom. So you've added in that little group of 2 16th notes. Da kita tom, da kita tom, da kita tom, da kita tom, da 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 tom, da da tom, da da kita tom, da kita tom, da. Next denser level, kita taka tom, kita taka tom, kita taka tom. So the 3 levels of the 3 beat unit. Taka tom, taka tom, taka tom, taka tom, ta kita tom, ta kita tom, ta kita tom, ta kita tom, kita taka tom, kita taka tom, kita taka tom, kita taka tom, ta. So 4 beat unit, again leading with the 3. 1 2 3 4. Taka din, taka din, taka din, taka din, taka din, taka din. The next level up from that. Da da kita tom, da da kita tom, da da kita tom, da da kita tom. And then next level up from that. Da kita taka tom, 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 da kita taka tom. And then the next level up from that. Tari kita taka tom, 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 tari kita taka tom. So all 4 units, one after the other. Taka din, taka din, taka din, taka din, so this is very important in the sense that wherever you see, takadimi, takita, all of these phrases can be substituted. So in a lesson, I think in the last lesson we were doing takita, takita, din, takita, takita, din. That could be takita, takita, din, takita, takita, din, takita, or any of the 3 beat units. So it's a very useful device to be able to populate the rhythmic frameworks, the shells, the coat hangers, as I said, populate it with different rhythmic material, and then it's very easy to make lots and lots of different compositions with simple rhythmic frameworks. So let's go on to the 5 beat unit. So remember, with the 5 beat unit at its basic skeletal shape, ta ti kit ta tom, 1 2 3 5 3 1 3 3 tom. First density level, ta dit da kita tom, which is a phrase we've heard before in these lessons. Ta dit da kita tom, ta dit da kita tom, ta dit kita tom, ta dit da da get da dum da get da get da dum da get da dum da get da get da dum da get da get da dum da. Next density level, da get da dum get da dum 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 da. The fingerings are in the notation that you'll see at the bottom of the screen. Obviously, as we go through these numbers and they get bigger, there's more and more possibilities in the chain of density. So next level, da get da da get da dum da get da da get da dum 1 2 3 4 5 da get da da get da dum 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 da. And the next level, get da da get da dum get da da get da get da da get da dum get da da get da get da dum get da da get da get da get da get da dum get da da get da get da dum get da da get da dum da. And finally, for the groups of 5, da da get da get dum 1 2 3 4 5. You'll often hear these, particularly the 5-beat phrase, you'll hear it a lot. And if you listen to Kanjira players, you'll hear this played all over the place. And you'll hear how they do the different density levels. So they might start off. So you really hear that, over and over again. And it's just using these different density levels. So what it does is it means that you've learned X amount of material and you can just play it in so many different ways with so many different density levels that it actually becomes different material completely. So now on to the 6-beat unit. So then obviously the first derivation, da dee da get da dum da dee da get da dum da dee da get da dum da dee da get da dum. 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 4 5 6 da dee da get da dum 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 da. Next level, da da get da dum da da get da dum get da dum da get da dum get da dum da 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 get da dum get da dum da da get da dum get da dum da. The next level, da da get da 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 dum da da get da 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 dum da da get da 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 dum. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. The next level, da get da da get da dum 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 da. And the final level for the 6s. All of these are interchangeable. Wherever you see tadi kinatom at a certain level, you can substitute any of these density levels, basically. But it has to be done with attention to the progression of the piece. So if you do the first round, you would do just maybe tadi kinatom. Second round maybe tadi da kinatom, and maybe the third round. So you can't just do one fast one, then one slow one, and then it's got to have a natural progression. So 7-beat unit. Da dee kid da da dee kid da da dee kid da. First density level. Da dee da kid da 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 da. Next density level. Da dee kid da 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 dee kid da da. Next density level. Da da kid da dum da 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 kid da dum kid da dum Next density level. Da, get a taka dum, get a dum 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 da. Next density level. Da, get a taka daddy, get a dum 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 da. Next density level. Dum da, get a taka daddy, get a dum dum da, get a dum da, get a taka daddy, get a dum dum da, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, get a taka daddy, get a dum dum da, get a taka daddy, get a dum dum da, get a taka dum da, get a taka daddy, get a dum. Or da da, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, da, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, da, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, da, get a taka daddy, get a dum da. And finally, for the 7-beat unit. Onto the 8-beat unit. Da-dee, get da, dum da-dee, get da, dum da-dee, get da, dum da-dee, get da, dum. First density level. Da-dee, da, get dum da-dee, da, 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 da, get dum da. Next density level. Da-dee, da-dee, da, get dum 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 da. Next density level. Da-dee, da, get dum 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 da-dee. Next density level. Da-dee, get a taka dum, get a dum 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 da. The next density level. Da-dee, get a taka daddy, get a dum 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 da. We could make that more dense even with those first 3 beats, but we're going to move on to the 9-beat unit now. Da-dee, get da, da-dee, get da, da-dee, get da, da-dee. First density level. Da-dee, da, da, get a dum 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 da. Next density level. Da-dee, da, get a dum, get a dum 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 da. Next density level. Da-dee, get a taka dum, get a dum 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 da. Next density level. Da-dee, get a taka daddy, get a dum 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 da. Next density level. Da, get a dum, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, get a dum, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, get a dum, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, get a dum, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, get a dum, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, get a dum, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, get a dum, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, get a dum, get a taka daddy, get a dum da. And the final density level for the 9s. Da, taka daddy, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, taka daddy, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, taka daddy, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, taka daddy, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, taka daddy, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, taka daddy, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, taka daddy, get a taka daddy, get a dum da, taka daddy, get a taka daddy, get a dum da. So there's only one simple building block that's missing so far from this, chart of density, or whatever you want to call it, and that's the 2-beat unit. So obviously that's going to be very simple. Ta tom is the 2-beat one. Ta tom, ta tom, ta tom. The next density level. Taka tom, taka tom, taka tom, taka tom. and the final one. So tak tom, first one, kita tom, second one, kita taka, third one. So which brings me on just around this this lesson up. A good exercise. And it's really right back to the beginning again. And one of the things, when I learnt the tabla, first of all, there was a kind of propensity in my mind to think, oh, well, I've learnt the early exercises, so now I could just move on to complicated things and forget about all the early stuff. But what became evident to me very soon was that all of the strength in the more advanced lessons came from the real graft that was done on the simple stuff. And so hence we're going now back to the very first thing of all of these from the Kanjira introduction, in fact, and that is this exercise. So we're going to start off 4 closed, 3, 4 and open, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and just slowly work the speed up. So this is a really good exercise. Spend a lot of time with it, even at a slower tempo. Get very strong with that, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget, like, subscribe, all of that stuff. It's everywhere, all over the screen, down there, across there, in there, up there. See you later.